We're now in Mancos, Colorado, about a mile outside of Mesa Verde National Park. We're staying at the Mesa Verde RV Resort, and we're about to go into the park. Jen?
Yeah, I'm excited. We've been reading about it through Ben's homeschool, and we saw some videos last night. We only have an afternoon, so I'm hoping that we can see enough of it. I guess see enough of it to make it worth. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Going. It's always going to be worth going, but I'm hoping that we can see enough in this time.
Should be fun.
We'll see. We'll see you there. All right, so we went and checked into the Mesa Verde National Park Visitor Center and found out that we forgot our binoculars, so we had to come back for that because it was suggested, hey Haley, that none of that we use our binoculars. And then we found out it was about a 40 to 45 minute drive into the park. There's like a scenic loop that we're going to take. I think there may be hiking before that, but we will see. So we're going to go take that 40-minute trek into the park, and we'll report when we get there.
All right, so they actually have an app for this that you can download and listen to an audio tour. And we are now doing the Mesa Top Loop. And they have a bunch of, I think it's free, yeah. They have a bunch of stops along the way, and we're now going into the pit house to check that out. I don't know that a driving tour with many stops is going to work well for us today. That means we have to get the kids out of the car and then back into the car for like a 2-minute stop. I don't know if it's worth it. We'll see. The real bathrooms are closed because it's out of season, and they've got a porta potty here that is in need of a dumping, whatever they call it. They need to suck it out and dump it because it's pretty gross. The kids are going in the woods. It's been a rough day overall. We didn't get a lot of good sleep last night, so we're kind of tired. Hey Haley, what do you think about this place?
I'm missing some kind of rock.
Yeah, what's your favorite part?
Stick.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And bullets. That's for bad people that I don't like.
All right, Haley. We just got back from Mesa Verde National Park. We had a decent time. Kids were a little crazy. Jen was a little moody. I was kind of tired. And it's just kind of one of those days. My overall opinion of it was that it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was epic or anything. I thought like the Cliff Palace was pretty cool, where the Pueblo people built like a little village inside the side of a cliff, which is pretty cool. What else was there?
Well, I'd say that there's probably 3 ways to see the park. One is the way we did it, which you go up, you drive about 45 minutes, and you get to the Mesa Loop, and it's like a guided tour. So you can listen on your phone, you can download the app, and then she tells you about kind of what each of the sites and stops is about. I couldn't really hear it over my kids screaming, so it didn't really help much. But the other kind of hard part about it is that Haley's still in the car seat. We have to unbuckle her and get her back in. And so you go out for like not even a 5-minute stop, and then you have to get back in, and there's 11 stops. So it's easy for you to get out of the car. It's a great way to see the park. And then there if you're still kind of on that track, like doing the scenic loop and then want to get out to walk, there's Farview. I messed up the names. Farview.
Keep calling it Fairview, so yeah, Farview.
And it's a mile loop that has some ancient dwellings. So that was pretty cool, just to get out. So I think that's one way to see it. Another way is to go hiking. They had a bunch of hikes. We just didn't do any of them. I was a little disappointed because when we went into the national park, there was no one there, so we didn't get an official map.
I should probably also mention that we're here in, what is it, mid-October?
Mid-October.
And the weather's perfect, but they're closed. Well, they're not closed. I don't really know what they are. They're not really fully open, though, because it's out of season. So you could still get in the park, but there was no ranger there to take your pass and to give you a map like most of the parks.
But other people had maps. So maybe that park ranger was just out on a lunch break or something. Like,
I don't know. A lot of the amenities were shut down.
Bathrooms, water,
and they have little like cafes and stuff in there that you could get stuff that were closed down. And also, we're back. I lost my train of thought. The kids disrupted us. I was saying something that I don't remember.
So it'll come to him, or it wasn't that important. So I'm going to say the third way to see Mesa Verde National Park, which I have no idea if it's like Steve was saying, like an off-season, we're off-season, or it was a COVID thing. But they have guided tours.
That's what I was going to say. Also,
third way to see it that we didn't see.
They didn't have the guided tours.
Which seems really cool. So you can actually go to some of these ancient dwellings. And it's a wonder we get anything done. It really is.
We're just disrupted by the other kid. So, Jen, you were saying?
There's another way to see Mesa Verde National Park. And then these are guided tours, which we didn't look into, but they didn't seem open. And I don't know if that was because of COVID or because it was just we're off season now. But we've seen other people do them on YouTube, and they look pretty cool. You can actually get up, you do a hike and ladders, and you can actually get in there and see some of the cliff. It is hard to say. You can actually see some of the cliff dwellings, kind of up close and personal, as opposed to outside as we were looking at them. I would say to take binoculars, which was a tip that a friend gave us and highly recommended, especially if you're not going on one of those guided tours. Yes.
So I don't have anything else to say. I just want to get this over with before another kid comes out screaming.
So we're glad to be back. We're going to just chill out tonight and then go check out Durango and potentially Uray tomorrow. I've got a little tentative agenda sketched out, so we want to see a little bit more before we leave on Sunday. So one full day left here in Mancos, Colorado. So some of the challenges of RV life, which they won't show you on Instagram, is if you follow us, you know that our refrigerator's been broken for, Steve, what do you say, 3 months? 2 months? A month?
I don't know. We left July 15th.
A long time, right? And so as we got here to Mesa Verde, I tried to open the fridge and the handle came off. So luckily, Steve found a workaround because I was really nervous that we weren't going to be able to open our fridge and it was going to be like a situation. So here's what we do, right, to get into our fridge. We open the freezer and then we have to press this button right here. You probably can't see it. Stilton, seriously, dude.
There's a little button right there.
There's a little button. Don't judge anything in our freezer. And then we have to open it like that. All right? So that we can close the freezer and then we can put our stuff in. So every time, what else? Because we have to like stack it to make sure we have everything. Okay.
We have all kinds of workarounds with that fridge.
There you go. So that's how we open our fridge and close our fridge now until our folks where we got our RV, we called them about a month in advance to when we actually needed an appointment, and they can get us in a month later, so December 1st. So we'll be dealing with this workaround, which is fine. We can deal with it. Luckily, Steve found it. But
our whole fridge is like one giant workaround.
I hate this fridge. Like, I want it to be gone. I hope they just take the whole fridge. In my zone of regulation. I'm just kidding.
But it's still keeping our food cold, and we are still going on the road. So
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I think what's funny is, like, when you follow people on Instagram, they're not going to show you the handle breaking off. And they're going to show you a beautiful picture of a renovated RV in front of a beautiful lake and mountains. And this is just part of RV living that you just need to understand. It's just kind of one of those things that it happens, and it usually happens when you're really tired and don't want to deal with it. But again, we have a workaround so we can get into the fridge.
And RV service appointments these days are pretty tough.
Yeah, a little challenging, but hey, we can get into it, and just wanted to share with you that our refrigerator saga continues.
We're about to go out on an adventure. I don't know exactly what we're doing. Jen planned us out an itinerary. I just said, let me be surprised, so we will see. It should be a fun time, though. I think we're heading towards Durango. That's about all I know. But she has a whole itinerary plan, so I'm looking forward to it. So Janice filled me in on part of the plan. The morning plan is to go to downtown Durango and walk around, and she has a... Haley, please be quiet. She has a specific place picked out for lunch.
So we'll see how this plan goes, being as I wanted to leave about an hour ago. Well, 45 minutes ago. Not bad. Not bad for the Arnolds getting out of... we still have one kid out of the car that's not in here. One telling us to be quiet.
We need to hurry up because Haley has to make a phone call.
Haley has to make a phone call with her.
She's calling
her
somebody.
phone. But yeah, we're going to go do... I looked up this itinerary that someone put together, I think who works for the city of Durango. And they did a 3-day itinerary, and then I just kind of picked pieces of it that I think that would work well for us. The afternoon plans, we'll see if those happen, but I'm excited about checking out Durango.
Cool. See you there.
Standing in silence, the stars lean in my chest, I can feel this is where we begin. Take me back.
We have arrived in Durango, Colorado. It is really beautiful out here, so I'm looking forward to walking. We have the added child, Stilton, today because we are going to be gone all day and didn't want to leave him in the rig, so we'll see how this goes.
Poetry, the way you look at me, when you look at me, you're bringing heaven down to earth, a symphony in every word, yeah. You're bringing heaven down to
We're outside a coffee shop, Durango Coffee Company, and we are grateful to have this nice outdoor seating because with Stilton with us, we can't really go inside. So it's one of the challenges if you want to have a dog with you in RV life. If you're going to be gone all day and you want to take them with you, it's hard to go in places. So just keep that in mind if you are thinking about getting a dog and you're in an RV. If you already have a dog, well, it's just a challenge that you're going to have to deal with.
the way you look at me, yeah, when you look at me, you're bringing heaven down to earth, a symphony.
Finding anything cool, Jen?
Yeah, on a sweater. I'm just distracted with the kids. But yeah, there's some neat stuff in here.
All right, the place we're trying to go to is a bust. They're closing at noon for some reason today, so we are heading back to the main drag to find some place. So we ended up finding a good restaurant. It's called Steamworks Brewing Company. It's about a block off the main drag. It was really good, so I'm glad we ended up here.
So we just wrapped up in Durango, Colorado. We didn't do a ton, but we walked around. The first lunch place was a bust because they stopped taking people at 12 because they were short-staffed. But never fear, we walked a little further and actually back to town and found a really good restaurant. Kids got stuff, we got stuff, and now we are headed on our second excursion, which is Silverton, Colorado. Check it out.
Are you joking?
I like the town of Durango. Had a good vibe.
And it's great weather out.
It's like Salt Lake City.
It's not like Salt Lake City at all. So we're going to head to Silverton, and it's a little bit of a drive, but I want to soak in as much of Colorado because we really only have one day to really do something. So
Looks like I'm shorter than you because we're on a hill.
I got taller.
See you there.
Your feet are on the dashboard, my eyes on the road. I always knew I'd get here, I just thought I'd be alone. Trees tie the skyline, the sun is on the run. There's no turning back now, this love has just begun. And I've never been so sure of anything. The way you're sleeping on my shoulder, dancing in a dream. It feels like getting older, ain't as scary as it seems. When you're sleeping on my shoulder, dancing in a dream. It feels like getting older. With you is what I need. Going somewhere slowly, selling something sweet. Goodbye to the lonely, the pleasure was mine to meet. And I've never been so sure of settling.
You gotta sing louder.
Baba, black sheep, everywhere. One for the master, one for the dame, one for the boy that lives down the lane.
I don't think I've ever in the history of his life had to tell him to sing louder.
Where you're sleeping on my shoulder, dancing in a dream. It feels like getting older, ain't as scary as it seems. Where you're sleeping on my shoulder.
What do you think?
Yeah. It's unique. I mean, I think in the winter, I'm sorry, in the summer, it's probably thriving. Because a lot of things are closed for the season. But it's like a ski town too. I don't know. It's unique, that's for sure.
Scary as it seems. When you're sleeping on my shoulder, dancing in a dream. It feels like getting older. It feels like getting older. With you is what I need.
We are now leaving Mesa Verde, and we just want to give you a little bit of a recap as to what we did, what we liked, and what we didn't like. I'm going to start by saying that if I were to do this again, I would find a park or a boondocking spot or somewhere to stay in Durango, and then go from there and go into Mesa Verde for the day, and then go back to Durango, and then go over to Silverton and possibly Ouray. In terms of Durango, I really liked a lot. Silverton was pretty cool. Mesa Verde was so-so for me. But if you're really into ancient history like that, then you'll probably like it. But me, I was just kind of okay on it.
Now, I did like this park. This park was nice. We had the dog walk right next to us. It wasn't great for running. I had to run in circles, on rocks. It was fun, but I liked the park. The park was fine. I agree with Steve. I think that staying in Durango or near Durango would give you could come over to Mesa Verde because we were a half mile from the park entrance, and that was one thing we did one day. But yeah, being in Durango, which I love that city, it gives you more access to other parts of Colorado, surrounding areas.
I can't believe you agreed with me.
I agree. I completely agree.
That's rare.
And we were contemplating getting a boondocking spot in Durango, but after we just boondocked for 11 days, I just wanted water and electricity. So we took showers, we got our rig cleaned, those type of things. That was nice. But Ben, they had a good playground here. Yeah. And when the kids were playing this morning, he said I could stay another day, and I agree. I think we could have stayed another day and done more, but oh well.
But if we lived here, it would have needed anything for my biking.
Yes,
I'm
for
ready
his
to go.
biking.
I don't like the loose rocks.
For biking.
Loose gravel rocks. They're not good for biking. Your tires slip on them.
Yes.
I'm okay with packed gravel or paved, but the loose rocks, no good for biking.
So if you don't RV, you're like, what are these people talking about? Rocks and gravel. But the kids like to ride their bikes around. I like to run, and it does make it a little bit more difficult. All right, Ben, anything to add?
Yeah.
Okay, get the chips out of your mouth, and let's...
I have an opinion.
Okay, can you scoot over some without eating for a second?
First, I'm going to tell you my opinion.
Go.
The lunch is really good.
Oh, good. Score on the lunch.
Okay.
The lunch is very good.
Oh, two thumbs up. Okay, what else?
And Mesa Verde.
Ben, camera.
You know, like when we watch those videos,
Yeah.
they look a lot better than what we actually experienced.
Agree. Ben's referring to, we saw some videos of people getting closer to the Pueblo homes.
They got a guided tour, and
Yeah.
we had that hike to get down there was actually closed for us.
So I agree, Ben.
Could be just when we came wasn't the best.
Yeah. What else, Ben?
The lunch is really good.
Okay, got the lunch.
No running.
Okay.
My lunch is really good.
My lunch is
All right, let's go.
This part's so.
Okay.
No, I think it's thumbs down.
Thumbs
Look
down.
at my thumbs down. You should put an emoji on the.
Okay. Can we?
my
All right.
All right. And that's a wrap.